Hello YouTube friends, my name is Ally Padron and welcome to my home. Today I'm going to be doing a nice little get ready with me video because I'm going to go to a galentines with some of my friends who are single ladies, but I'm going to crash the party. So that's what we're doing. I think I'll tell you my whole life story while I'm at it because if you know anything about me, I really can't do small talk. It's really difficult for me. Before anything, let me just show you this candle. I got it from Target, and it has wood, what is it called? Wood, oh, it has wood wicks, so it crackles while it burns, and it smells so freaking good. Here, listen to that. Oh wait, my mic is here. I'm gonna keep it here for the vibes, okay? But also, I really like the smell of it. All right, makeup bag. I have a makeup bag. Here we go. I'm gonna talk to you through the mirror, if that's cool. Let's see. First things first, I use this It's CC cream. Okay, let me start with my life story. So, when I was born, I was a C-section baby, and I'm the first of 4 kids. So what's crazy is I was a C-section baby, but my brothers and sisters were all natural birth after that. Or, I don't know if they were natural. Actually, I think my mom used an epidural, but they came out through the vag, and I came out through the tummy. So, the reason behind that is my heartbeat started to drop, and I had a heart murmur, I think is what they call it. And so, yeah, they just cut me out of my mom's tummy, and here I am. I was a small baby. I was only like 5 pounds, I want to say. I was less than 6 pounds for sure. 5 pounds and some ounces, and I was the first grandchild on both my mom and dad's side. Everybody adored me. I was the light of everybody's life until my brother came around 17 months later, so I didn't have too much time in the spotlight. But that's okay. I love my little brother. We're very different, but we're also good friends. And I remember growing up with him, just being so close in age. We would hang out and play together a lot, and we used to fight. I want to say all the way up until, I forget how old we are, somewhere between 8 to 12. I went up to my brother one day and I knocked on his door and I was like, Ethan, I'm tired of fighting with you. Can we just not fight anymore and be friends and be cool? And my brother was like, okay. And then from that moment on, we just never really fought. So I think it's probably because I was more of the aggravator and instigator of our fights. So sorry to my brother for dealing with me, but at a certain point I got tired of it. I just didn't want to have an antagonizing relationship with him. So at 10 years old or something, I was like, this has to end. And my brother was like, I'm down if you are. So that's my second brother. We're all roughly 2 years apart in age, me and my siblings. So it goes girl, boy, and I'm the oldest girl. Ethan, my brother, just talked about him. Then my little sister, Hannah, she is the light of my life and my first Valentine. She is 19 years old now, so how far apart does that make us? I'm 23. 4 years apart, roughly. And Hannah was born with special needs, so she's always been mentally a lot younger than her age. Even though she's 19 right now, mentally she's probably around like a 7 or 8-year-old, but she's so pure-hearted and sweet, and yeah, I love her so much. I have probably the closest relationship with my little sister, and I still talk to her every week, and we FaceTime and text all the time, and I'm not a texter, so I think I text my sister the most out of anybody in my contact list, but love her. And then my youngest brother, his name's Micah. We have a 7 to 8 year gap, or let me see. He's 16 right now. 17, 18, 19, 20. 7-year gap between me and Micah. And Micah is such a sweetheart. He's always been more sensitive than Ethan and just more gentle, I would say. Ethan's more of a manly man, and Micah is more of just like a sweet, gentle guy. And I always saw Micah as like my baby, and I always felt like a second mom to him. Because having a lot of siblings, especially a sister with special needs, my parents, you know, they had a lot on their plate taking care of all 4 of us. So as the big sister, I would help take care of Micah a lot, especially because he's the youngest. And yeah, while my parents were taking Hannah to like physical therapy, for example, then I would be babysitting my brothers. And I really enjoyed being the oldest child. I just have a personality that I like responsibility, and I am a little perfectionist at heart, so I like living up to people's expectations and exceeding them. With the power that was given to me, I wielded it the best that I could as a young child. And generally, I was a really good kid growing up, I would say. Like, I got straight A's. This isn't really to brag, but just to give a framework of the kind of goody two-shoes I was. I got straight A's. I took care of my younger siblings. Socially, did pretty well, too. I was more extroverted as a child. I think COVID really changed me a lot, but that's skipping too far ahead. So we're still in childhood here. Some core memories, I had a golden retriever dog. She was actually a puppy, a purebred golden retriever puppy, and her name is Miffy, and she was named after the little, I think it's a Japanese rabbit. Pretty sure it's a Japanese show, not Korean, but cute little bunny named Miffy. I love that show and I love that character, so I named my golden retriever Miffy, and I only had her for a couple years. This is when I was like 12. And I couldn't take very good care of her as a 12-year-old, so I guess I wasn't that responsible. But it was hard because my mom never wanted this golden to be in the house. And goldens are very friendly, social dogs, so they want to be around people, but Miffy just had to be in the backyard all the time or outside because my mom was very conscientious of fur and the dirt and dirtiness of dogs. So I guess that's where I get it from, that I don't want dogs because I don't feel like they're very clean animals, but I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for golden retrievers. I think they're the cutest dogs of all time. And yeah, Miffy got given to a different family that also had another golden, so they were just looking for another dog, and so Miffy got another playmate, like another golden dog to hang out with, and she was spoiled and treated like a princess because this couple was retired and their whole life was their dog essentially, so she really did go to a better home. But yeah, I loved her. What else? I did karate as a kid. I feel like I'm jumping around, but this era is childhood that I'm talking about. So I was born in Glendale, Los Angeles area, and then moved to Oceanside when I was younger. So I remember being in Oceanside around the ages of like, well, I don't remember anything less than being 5 years old essentially, but maybe when I was a little, 3 to 6-ish, I'm guesstimating here. So 3 to 6, I was in Oceanside, and man, the weather is the best in Oceanside. You can't beat it, and we were right next to Legoland, and that was so much fun as a kid. I went to Legoland over 100 times in my life so far. I kid you not. It's definitely reached 100, and that was so fun. We had annual passes. I don't know what was going on in my dad's career at that time that he could take us so much, but I was thriving as a child in Legoland. It's changed a lot now. I think I went recently, like within the past few years, and it's very different from what I remember it as a 5-6-year-old, but yeah, those are some fun memories. And then eventually we moved up to Lake Elsinore, Murrieta, Temecula area, which is an hour and a half up from San Diego. And My mom did not want to move in this area because it was so much hotter than Oceanside, like 10 to 20 degrees hotter. But we did, and in these years, I want to say age 7 to 18. So I spent most of my life growing up in the Murrieta, Temecula area. And yeah, I did all the things when it comes to education. I was homeschooled for the beginning part of my life, and then I went to a charter school from 3rd to 5th grade, roughly, and I had a lot of fun. So at this charter school, we went to school Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then was homeschooled Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So it was a really nice way to ease into a more public school environment. But for middle school, my parents took me out. It was their plan for all 4 of us kids to not have to go through a public middle school experience, which I'm really grateful for, because middle school is a really tough time in life. Like, not only are you changing into, you know, a woman or a man and you're going through hormonal stuff, it's also just like a lot of insecurity as a kid. People are mean in middle school years. Yeah, there's just a lot of scary stuff that happens in middle school, I feel like. So my parents spared Ethan and I from that reality, and we were homeschooled all throughout middle school. And my dad was our main teacher, and he actually has background in education as well. He did a really good job teaching us. I feel like if you're homeschooled, the teacher that you have makes all the difference. So for my youngest brother, Micah, they tried to homeschool him for a period of time too. And he might have ADHD or something like that, or he can't focus super well. But he also had my mom as his main teacher. And my mom is a wonderful woman, but I'm not sure if like teaching math, science, and English is her forte. So yeah, he didn't thrive as much as Ethan and I did. But our dad was our primary teacher, and it was so fun. Like, when most kids were learning geology or something like that in the 7th or 8th grade, my dad wanted to teach us about quantum physics, and so I got a basic teaching on that. I don't remember anything, and I'm by no means smart in this area, but that's what we learned. I remember watching documentaries on quantum physics instead of learning about rocks, and I thought that was so cool as a kid. It was also nice to have the flexibility in homeschool to be able to kind of study and base the curriculum around a child's interests. So I remember for English projects that I could do book reports and write essays on books that I actually liked reading. In middle school, I loved The Hunger Games. I read the series, I think, over a dozen times, like the whole trilogy. And I remember writing essays on it. My brother, Ethan, was more into history and math than I was. I was more of a science English girly. So my dad kind of focused on certain subjects with both of us. Like, he definitely poured into my brother more when it came to history, and he invested more in me when it came to English. So in the end, though, when we both went to high school, and we went to public high school, my brother, even though he didn't focus in English when he was homeschooled, he ended up taking more AP English classes than I did. Granted, my brother is a lot smarter than me, so there's that. Which I'm so happy for him. He's amazing. Let me see, what else? We're in like the middle school era. I took karate as a kid. I did karate for how many years? Like 4 years, I want to say. I got up to the belt right before black belt, and I actually did not want to take the black belt test because you have to spar with 1 to 2 senseis for an hour and just basically get your ass kicked. That's all it is they just beat you up for an hour and you have to, I mean, you can fight back, that's the whole point, but in reality, one person against two senseis, two black belts, yeah, it's basically just a butt whooping for an hour. And I'm a small, petite girl, and I didn't like being kicked around, and so I was honestly scared to do that test in order to become a black belt. And my dad was like, you don't have to, honey. Like, you've made it far enough. And so I would say to my friends and to people that I met, like, don't mess with me because I'm a 3rd degree preparatory black belt. Keyword being preparatory because I was a 3rd degree brown belt. But that was the most fun sport I was ever involved in, if you consider martial art a sport, which I do. It's like playing ball in any other way. It's like you need discipline, you work on your craft, you work on your skill. It takes like intense work ethic and determination and physical fitness, and yeah, I really enjoyed karate. As a kid, my parents had us try different sports, but I don't know why it was like this because I was the older child, but my brother Ethan would try a sport like soccer, and I would try it with him. And when he quit and was over it, I quit too. So I would follow my brother around with whatever sports he did, baseball, soccer. I don't think I did football. And eventually he joined karate, so I joined karate naturally, but he quit after, my brother didn't last long in any of these sports, so he quit at like orange belt, but I loved it, so I kept going. And yeah, I feel like that was one of my favorite childhood experiences, was getting to do karate. And I loved doing the katas, which are basically forms. So you do a routine of moves, and I loved it. It kind of felt like dancing looking back. So yeah, before I found dancing, I was doing karate. After karate, I did gymnastics for a little bit, but then I almost broke my neck, so I popped out of that real fast. And then I started looking into dancing, but I was first exposed to dancing through K-pop. Man, my life story's taken a bit. Well, I'm going on little detours. So far, what have I done makeup-wise? I put on a CC cream, I put on bronzer a little bit, I did my eyebrows, I did eyeshadow. Okay, I don't know how good this eyeshadow looks, but you know, slay what you can. We're doing our best here. The main feature of my makeup look is definitely my eyelashes. I don't think I'm gonna link any of this makeup down below because I'm not good at doing makeup, but we're just here to get ready together, you know? I always use a liquid eyeliner though. And ideally, it's nice if it's waterproof, but I don't think this one is. But it's okay, because the eyelash glue, when I put it on, it helps the eyeliner stay in place. If I wear eyeliner without, wow, I can talk and do this, it's kind of impressive. If I wear eyeliner without my eyelashes, then it just melts off my face and I look like a panda. It's a disaster. So, always gotta wear eyeliner and eyelashes together for me. Where were we? Dance. Okay, dancing. Dancing, I continued for the longest time in my life. I recently just retired from dancing. But I love dancing so much. Dancing has my heart. I started off with K-pop when I was in middle school. I did covers of boy bands and girl bands. My first K-pop cover was Ring Ding Dong by SHINee, and that's what launched my dance journey. Okay, hold on. Let me just get this line looking okay. Okay, not bad. I feel like that's decent. I will do the wing in a little bit. I think I'll put the eyelashes on and then do the wing. Yeah, so I did a lot of K-pop, and I learned a lot about dancing from K-pop. I learned especially performance factor. So when I joined my high school's dance team, we're moving forward now. So I'm going to a public high school I'm going to a public school for the first time, and I don't know anybody. It's my first day. I feel like anybody who's anybody is somehow in my PE class, and cliques are forming all over the place. And I'm over here like, which clique should I join? So there's like the popular kids, as in like they're gonna be cheerleaders and they're pretty and no, they're pretty. And strangely, no, not diverse. I wouldn't say that. There was one Mexican chick, one black chick, and one white chick, and then they were trying to recruit me. And they were like, we can all be Disney princesses. I remember this in gym class. And it was the Mexican girl leading it. And she was like, yeah, like, you can be Tiana, to the black girl. And then she was like to me, you can be Mulan. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to be in this group per se. So I kept looking around, and eventually I settled with a group. It wasn't really that much of a group. It was 2 other girls, and I joined them because they seemed like they didn't particularly fit in anywhere. They felt like, we're just here, we're just girls. And we're not like jocks, we're not nerds, we're not the popular kids, we're not associated with anything, we're just kind of here. And so I was like, I'm gonna join that one. That didn't turn out too well though. So I'm not gonna name names, but one girl was very mild-mannered and sweet and not opinionated at all, not aggressive, very demure. And the other girl was a strong, feisty Italian. And she was very opinionated, very aggressive, very alpha, if you will. And, I've tamed myself down quite a bit, but I used to be pretty alpha myself back in the day. So her and I would clash all the time, and this poor other girl would be in the middle all the time. It wasn't a good environment. Eventually, I joined the dance team. The Italian feisty girl started dating somebody that I didn't like because he was a bully. Like, I think the 3rd day of school, I was just eating my lunch. It was just orange chicken or something from the cafeteria, but like white people orange chicken. And I was just eating it, and it was kind of gross, but I basically finished, and I was about to throw it out, and this guy and his friends come up to me, and they surround me, and they start eating off my plate as I'm holding it. And it was such a weird encounter. And I was just standing there, and they were eating off my plate. And this is the guy that feisty Italian started dating. And so I didn't like him, of course, because it wasn't just that encounter. He was rude to everybody except her. Anyway, that's the tea. That's the high school tea. So after they finished eating off my plate, I just threw it in the trash. And I moved on. I joined the dance team. I really worked my butt off on that dance team. I never really felt super connected with the people there. Although I loved them and they loved me, but there was always some sort of, like we didn't mesh super well. And I feel like it's because potentially they knew I was a Christian and I didn't do the stuff that they like to do. Like I didn't party, I didn't drink, that sort of thing. So I feel like there was always like, oh, she's a good little Christian girl. And I was the only Asian on the team too. So that also might have been kind of like a cultural gap. But they treated me well. There was always just like a distance between me and the other members of the team. I think if anybody, I got closer to my co-captain my senior year, and this other girl who I adore, her name is Alana. She's just such a real person, and she was always such a sweetheart. Like, she was loved by all, and she was so cool, and she had the coolest fashion sense, and she was such a good dancer too. I'm sure she still is, but yeah, there were definitely a couple really solid gems on this dance team. And we prided ourselves on being a dance team and not the cheerleaders, because the cheerleaders at this school sucked. They got better, but when I was on the team, it was a rough time for them. But the dance team, everyone loved the dance team. They thought we were just the bee's knees. I'm telling you, every rally, the main event was the dance team. So I had a full-on fan base when I was going to high school, which I didn't deserve, but it was just kind of funny and sweet that we had such a high reputation. It reminds me of the scene, I just watched Valentine's Day, and Taylor Swift is getting interviewed, and they're like, so what do you do? And she's like,
not the cheerleader. I'm on the dance team.
That was me in high school.
Maybe you could show us a little bit.
A 5, 6, 7, 8.
Don't hurt yourself.
Oh, I probably shouldn't do that with my mic. Okay, I'm talking and I'm getting lost. Where were we? Oh, I think it's time to stick on the eyelashes. I have this acrylic case for my eyelashes, kind of nice. My friend Miriam, she's a very entrepreneurial girl, and she's had a lot of businesses so far in her young years of life. I think she's only like 20 years old. It's crazy, but she had a lash business for a little bit, and she gave me this case. Anyways, high school. Oh yeah, high school. Once I got out of that clique that wasn't really like associated with anything, my dance team was kind of a clique. I also had friends on the basketball team that were so sweet to me and just like really wonderful human beings, and they were also my friends. I would hang out with them at lunch a lot. I would hang out with another group of Asians on break time, and they weren't like your typical smart Asians. They were more like the ones who were in like Hakka and Ohana, and ooh, the lighting is changing up. I hope that's okay. Anyways, they were also so sweet too, and like really down to earth, and they were in my Chinese class, and yeah, they were super chill, so I would hang out with them on break. And then I had a group of friends that were kind of like popular, non-popular kids. I don't know if that makes sense, but they were in a little bit, they were nerdy for sure. Like, they were the kids who were always in like all the AP classes. And the queen bee, her name is Frankie. She really looks like Spencer from Pretty Little Liars. But she was my homie, and we kind of had a group together with a few other people. So yeah, a lot of random various friend groups throughout high school. And it was a good time. I think my eyelash just broke. I guess I'll just peel it off. It is what it is. So I reuse my eyelashes a lot. At least, I want to say 5 uses before I throw them out. And sometimes I remember to take off the glue after wearing them. Oh shoot, I broke it. And sometimes I don't. This is one of those occasions where I didn't remember. I usually have a pair of scissors in my makeup bag, so I can cut my lashes if I need to. Okay. So yeah, high school. I talked about it in a previous video with Ariel, but I never really felt truly close to anybody in high school. Although I was a part of various groups, I didn't really feel like true belonging in any of them. I just felt like accepted enough to where they were cool having me around, but I don't really feel like I was a part of these groups. If anything, it was probably Frankie's group that I was the most a part of. But yeah, I think later in life I realized too that connecting with somebody and being on the same page spiritually is really important. I think not most people, I take that back. I think a lot of Christians will consider that when choosing a potential mate or wife or husband. But it's the same with friendships too. Just connecting on a spiritual level and having similar values, I think is really important in order to foster a deeper relationship. So yeah, I'm really blessed to have that now with friends like Ariel and Nani and Beth that I've talked about on this channel already. Okay, hold on. I need concentration for this. So sometimes I dry the glue a little bit, but then I'm just gonna stick it on, okay? Okay, it's kind of on. All right, party people, I just put my lashes on. How they look? Can we see? I think they look okay. Good enough to slay as best I can. Okay, I really do like this lash adhesive. It's by iEnvy Strip Lash Adhesive with Aloe in black. So I do like this one. The cap kind of broke, but I need to get more of it. This is the only makeup I will recommend in this whole video. Okie doke. This video is already long, huh? I think we're gonna have to stop at high school. I'm sorry, folks, but I can do another get ready with me and we can continue on with life, but from birth until high school, what other key core memories in high school? I was prom queen. That was fun, but lonely at the same time. Yeah, that's a whole nother story, but people are sweet to nominate me as prom queen, so I'm grateful to all the homies that voted for me. Haha. Here I am now, living life, doing my best, slaying where I can. Good enough. I feel like my eyes are very forgiving in a sense with eye makeup. I can just kind of eyeball it, and because of my eye shape, it just kind of blends it all together, if you will. I think high school was an interesting time. I thrived on the down low, but I thrived very superficially. I did not thrive in my spirit or soul. But that's okay, because that came later, after or during college. Last step, unless I do anything here. Should I do lips? Okay, wait. First things first. We're gonna take a brush that has that thin edge. Here we go. Here it is. And I'm gonna do a little bit under the eye with some dark brown eyeshadow. That is the vibe. Sweet. Alrighty, home skillets. I think that's the best it's gonna get for today. Yay! Okay, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's been a joy, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for getting ready with me for this galentines. I'll share a couple pictures of what I ended up looking like, and I will share the rest of my life story in a later get ready with me. So thanks so much for coming over. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, love you.